Hello and good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar session brought to you by Robinson College of Business at Georgia State University, USA, and Siksha.com. Students, this is an informative session about the MS in Data Science and Analytics program that is being provided by the university to all international students. So before we start the session, I would like to introduce our presenters from the university. So we have with us Ms. Lindsay Fortner. She is the MSDA program recruiter at the university. Our second presenter is Mr. Yosen Jia. He is the faculty director of the MSA program. Our third presenter is Mr. Akhil. He is the current student at the university. To all the students, an important note, if you wish to ask questions to our presenter, I will request you to please post your questions in the question section. We will be taking all the questions at the end of the session. If you wish to ask questions directly to them, I will request you to please click on the raise hand tab. Siksha will unmute you and you can ask your questions to them. I will now request Lindsay to please start with the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Lashmi, and thank you for having us here today at the Robinson College of Business. This is the MS in Data Science Analytics program that we're going to be talking about. And just a brief introduction on, what we're going to be talking about today. So we'll go over just a little bit about Robinson and Georgia State, as well as the program itself, the curriculum and extracurriculars that we have, the investment summary, so you have an understanding of what that would look like, and then also some next steps and some dates to keep in mind, some other follow-up items as well. And then we can also answer your questions at the end. So thanks for being here. So as Lashmi said, my name is Lindsay Fortner. I am the graduate recruiter for the MSDA program. And so I work with students on the front end with their application and learning more about the program itself, next steps after they get their decision letter. So I'm happy to assist you with all of that. And I've been here for a couple of years now at Georgia State working with this program, so I'm very excited to tell you a little bit more about it. We're also joined by Dr. Shah, who is the program director. And so Dr. Shah will be speaking a little bit about his role and also some of the items that are covered in our curriculum and the different extracurriculars that we have in the program. And then later we'll also hear from Akhil, who is one of our current MSDA students, to learn more about the program. So Georgia State University is one of the largest universities in the US. We actually started out as Georgia Evening College back in 1913. That's that owl you see on the right-hand side of the screen there. And we expanded to a full-fledged university with multiple colleges, but Robinson actually is one of the largest business schools in the Southeast in the United States. We have over 70,000 alumni. You can see some of the ratings here from our programs, and each year, all of our programs have been moving up on the scale. So we're really excited to be innovative in the way that we offer our programs and how we help students move forward in their career. So just a little bit about Atlanta. Atlanta is actually known as, unofficially, the Silicon Valley of the South. We have very warm temperatures most of the year in Atlanta, which is very nice. And we have the #1 busiest airport in the world, actually. So many flights come in and out of here all the time. So it's very convenient if you're coming overseas. 1.9 million jobs to be expected by 2040. So you can see that we're a rapidly growing city. We have lots of opportunities that are coming into the area. So that's great in terms of your career growth. These are just some fun facts about Atlanta as well, so you have an idea of the opportunities here. So a Metro STEM for STEM professionals, if you're looking to get into a STEM career, which many of you probably are if you're interested in analytics, this is a great area to start that part of your business. Also, one of the best cities for young professionals in America. Many actually companies are moving here that are looking to expand. So we have a variety of Fortune 500 companies like Home Depot. We have Delta Airlines, which is huge. We have so many others that you can look into, but definitely lots of opportunities here for your career growth. And our faculty are among the best in the world. They are experts in their respective fields and consult with businesses worldwide. So this is a little brief background on some of them and who will be teaching in the program. And our alumni have gone on to roles across the US and around the world. So you can see here, some of them, they actually come back to our campus and we'll talk about how they got started at Robinson and how it helped them launch into their career. It's sort of like a TED Talk type setting, and it's really nice for students to hear, the career progression that they went through as they went through their career after Robinson. So for the program itself, the program is going to be a cohort format, which means that you will build on each semester that you're in the program. So the first semester is going to be more of your basic level courses, moving on to the advanced level courses in your second semester. Then there will be an internship option, and then finally your electives. So 3 semesters is the shortest time to complete. We do like to see some math before you start the program. So advanced calculus and linear algebra are something we look for. But the program can be completed full-time or part-time. If you are studying on a visa, of course, full-time would be required. But again, the program is going to go super fast while you're here. It's 12 to 16 months. So it's really going to be flying by. I see students come in and out all the time. So you'll definitely be ready to rock and roll once you get over here. But when you do apply, we do look to see for a strong quantitative GRE GMAT score. If you do choose to submit that score, we are waiving the test requirement at this time. We're not requiring it. So if you want to, further enhance your application, you're welcome to submit a strong GRE or GMAT score with a quantitative score of 80% or better, but you do not have to do that. It's completely up to you and your background. We look for TOEFL at least a 90 or better, or IELTS at least a 6.5 or better. And then we like to see programming skills, but they are not required because we do also teach you many programming skills while you're in the program. The program is going to be offered in the Buckhead campus, which is in North Atlanta. So you will be in one area most of your time, which is nice. And we're right in the center of the financial district. So you're surrounded by plenty of companies, which creates lots of networking opportunities for you to be close to your internship. So it's a really convenient area, actually right next to a metro train, which can take you throughout the city and downtown to the airport and to our downtown campus as well. So very convenient there. And the courses are going to be full-time in the early afternoon time, but you also can do evening courses if that's better for your schedule. So we have some flexibility there. Of course, this is a STEM program, so you do have the option to get up to 36 months of OPT as well. And we took 2 different concentrations. So our main concentration is data science and business. So this is really where you're going to combine the computer science, statistics, and business part of analytics together. So not only are you going to be able to understand, how to utilize different programming skills, but also, be able to present and come up with different solutions that companies can utilize, in the field. So this is a really key piece for being in the data science world. But if you want to go into maybe the legal side and be maybe a legal analyst, we do have that option as well. So we actually partnered with our law school, and you can take some courses and switch out a couple of courses. Basically, it's the same curriculum except that you're taking a text analytics course as well as 2 GSU law courses as well. And we even have a dual JD MSDA program. So if you're looking to even get your JD, that is an option also to do both programs. So it's really up to you and your career. So now I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Shah to talk a little bit about the tracks as well as our sprints and boot camps that we're offering.
Thanks, Lindsay. So within the MSDA data science in business concentration, we designed 2 tracks. The main difference, you can think about a math problem. And if you want to know why, how this solution is derived, versus, well, I know how to solve this problem, and then that becomes my knowledge. So in that comparison, the regular data scientist on the left is essentially the why. You want to know deep, you want to know the proof, and the right side is on the application side. So you are more likely learn how to interpret the results and how to implement that. And both tracks, you will learn to have the output results and then communicate with external and internal stakeholders. And then the first set of rules about the coursework. And as you can see on the left, you have statistics for regular data scientists, and on the right you have business statistics for the citizen data scientist track. So one is more in the depths of math, the other is more in the depths of business content. Both tracks are STEM-based degree, so you don't need to worry about whether it's 3 years OPT or not. Both tracks have 3 years OPT period. The target audience, as you can see in the slide, the regular data scientist, we need you to have a math, a computer science, or other engineering background, which means you all have learned calculus, linear algebra, some basic coding in your undergraduate studies. On the right, citizen data scientist, because the focus is more on the implementation, application, communication, a wide, broad set of background is feasible. And the instructors normally are the same because they can think about the students' background and design their syllabus for the corresponding students. Both tracks will have the same type of hands-on experiences, which we call sprint projects. And so you can see on this slide, we have the courses for the data scientist track, and here is the citizen data scientist track. It's more on the business side. Yeah, I will speak about inside sprint project, and then I will hand back to Lindsay to talk more. So as Lindsay mentioned, Atlanta has so many corporate 500 headquarters and a lot of other small companies. So we have access to a lot of industry projects. So companies have a challenging problem, they have data, they want to solve the problem, they come to Georgia State, and then we have about 15 students per project, and one faculty who supervises the project by providing methodologies, and one executive from the company. It's normally lasts 10 to 15 weeks in a semester. Each week, students work on the solution, guided by the professor. Industry professionals come in to help answer questions related to the data features, and also provide directions for what the company think, whether this direction goes to solve the challenging problem or not. And because of these sprint projects, our students gain first-hand experiences, because at the end of the semester, students actually go to the headquarters like Truist. We have 2 projects this semester. It's a 4th largest bank in the US. And on April 20th, we have already scheduled 30 students will go to the headquarters of Truist to present to their senior executives. So, Lindsay, I'll get back to you.
Okay, thank you, Yusin. Yeah, and if you want to see some of the other sprints that we've worked on, you can go to that link at the bottom of the screen there, and it'll give you a brief description of the ones that we've worked on in the past. But these are really great experiences. That bottom right picture you see there is actually one of our Insight labs here in the Buckhead campus. But we also offer boot camps as well, and so these boot camps are really outside of the classroom where you can enhance your knowledge of different programming skills. So we had Advanced R, for example, Tableau, Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Services, blockchain, just to name a few. And these are taught by either professionals in the industry or some of our faculty members. So you can see some of those boot camps if you click on that link at the bottom of the screen there. Another feature that we also offer, we have different industry speakers, and many of these are our alumni that come back and talk to students about what day-to-day life is like as a data scientist, what they're seeing in the field, and different skills that are needed. So it's, it's nice to hear from our alumni. They understand, where you are in the program, and they've been in your shoes, so they want to come back and help as much as they can in that sense. But we also have different labs. I mentioned earlier our Insight Lab. So if you're looking to work on a sprint project, we have a legal analytics lab, fintech lab, and social media intelligence lab. All of these have different features. For example, our social media intelligence lab is downtown, and if you're looking to work on a project that's more marketing focused, for example, we did a project where we worked on with Georgia Aquarium, and they looked at the different reviews to see what was keeping the individuals to keep coming back to the Georgia Aquarium to visit and learn more about it. So it was really nice and an interesting experience for our students. But depending on the project, you'll be working in different labs. So it's a nice opportunity for you there. Also, we have our GBA, which is our Graduate Business Association, where all students can come and they can learn more professional development opportunities. They can network with other professionals in the area. We do pair up with the BBA, the Buckhead Business Association, where you can actually meet with other professionals in the Buckhead area and start building those networking skills. Now I'm going to turn it over to one of our current students, Akil, who can talk more about his experience in the program and the different features here at Robinson.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thanks, Lindsay, and thanks, Professor Yuzen. Yeah, I'm Akil Malvarapu from India, like from south part of India, and I've done my MTech in University of Hyderabad in Information Security, and I've completed my BTech in Computer Science from SRM University. So while I was doing a project in my MTech, like I was working on a project called NLP project, and that's where I got an interest to do a degree in data science and data analytics in America. So I was doing research, a lot of research, which college to go, which one to choose, and all. Somewhere from my reference, I got to know about this Georgia State University. So while I was going through the curriculum of Georgia State University, I was really like very. I mean, like they have a good opportunity. I mean, they have a structured program like in the first and in the fall semester when I came here, I did like data programming for analytics, data management for analytics, like data management for analytics, where it gets you the basics of SQL, and you'll be using MySQL tool, and then you'll be extracting queries and writing queries and all. And you'll also be going through subjects like statistical foundation for analytics, like the professor who taught, Professor Jawad, he teaches you very well. I mean, he has extensive knowledge in statistical foundation and some of the technical things like confidence interval, hypothesis testing. And there's one more subject in my semester which is called data visualizations, where they'll teach you a lot of visualizations using a Python language. So overall, I felt that the fall semester courses were very like basic and gets you knowledge and gets you on track of what is data science is all about, what you're gonna what you're gonna do in industry when you're given a data science problem, and these are the things which help you while you're doing the course. And then it's not that if you have a basic knowledge of Python or R programming, Georgia State also offers you boot camps, as Lindsay discussed, like R programming, Python programming. I've attended those all of the boot camps and gained the knowledge, and I've also used my knowledge that to excel in my courses. And Professor Yuzen was also talking about Insight Spring. So this is a real thing which I was excited about when I'm coming to Georgia State University. And after coming here, I got an opportunity to work with the work under Professor Yuzen, and we worked for a company called Fire of Subs, where basically it is a project of forecasting sales. So it's basically you'll be having every week you'll be having a meetings. It's a kind of atmosphere where you have atmosphere in a company. So basically, Georgia State University tries you to prepare for the environment which is in the company, and you'll be doing meetings. You'll be so basically you'll be taking a problem and you'll be pre-processing it. You'll be learning a lot of techniques on the way of project, and you'll be concluding the project, and you'll be having a good knowledge when you do this inside sprints projects. So these are the very good opportunities which were offered by Georgia State University. And Georgia State University also offers graduate research assistantships and teaching assistantship, where you get a stipend, where you get a scholarship, which I was very good opportunity to work under professors, and you can share your knowledge with the professor. I mean, this is a university which offers a lot of career advancement centers. Like you have this VMOC tool where you can check your resume score. Like, yeah, they use AI technology where it highlights your keywords and get your resume score. And it is very beneficial to improve your resume if you use that tool. And then there also like some of the advanced like we have a handshake portal where you can check out a lot of opportunities in data science where they post it, and then you can apply for them. And yeah, you can like they'll be having a lot of references, lot of opportunities when you go to handshake. Yeah, so that is a thing. And then, yeah, coming to Atlanta, you have a lot of opportunities over here, and Georgia State University helps you to network with the people outside the company, and the projects which you are doing under Inside Sprints. If you are doing well, then you'll be having a uh, good time with the company. Then you'll be getting placement, and the opportunities are very good in Atlanta, and location wise everything is good over here. Yeah. Thank you, Lindsay. Yeah.
Thank you, Akhil. Yeah, that was a good overview of everything, that we're doing here at Robinson in the program, and also some of the different features that we offer. So thank you for that. So one other thing to note is that we have a whole team of people here that are here to support you. So Dr. Shaw was just talking before. He's, running the program director. Linda Lee would be your assistant director of graduate student experience. So if you need somebody to direct you, maybe you're looking to find your schedule or the health center or something, but also learn about the different boot camps we have. She would be a good resource for you for that throughout your entire program until graduation. We also have an advisor here, Tracy Mitchell, to help you through registering for your courses and removing holds. And then the Career Advancement Center is run by Lauren McDowell. As Akhil was just talking about the different services that we offer from the Career Center in terms of reviewing your resume, preparing for interviews, and looking for jobs on campus and off campus. So the graduate student experience team, which is Linda Lee's team, I was just talking about her. Some of the things they do are they facilitate orientation and commencement, but also they do different social events for you because we want to make sure you feel part of a community here at Robinson. And so we have different events around holidays here, so you can experience what, Thanksgiving holidays here in the US. We have a barbecue over the summer. So different fun activities for you to get involved and get to know other students and staff and faculty members. And then our career planning, we have different phases that you'll go through when you start the program until you graduate, so that you're getting out, you're connecting with other employers and other people that are in the field that you're interested, but also developing your resume, going to job fairs that we have on campus, coffee chats with different professionals and executives. So lots of opportunities here. I know Akhil had touched on it a little bit earlier, but you can work on your profile, your LinkedIn profile, your elevator pitch, as well as your resume by getting it reviewed by VMAC, which is a very cool tool that we use. So lots of opportunities there from the career side. Our tuition for the program in-state is $39,000 and out-of-state is $45,000. That's for the entire program, and also including tuition and fees. So given that, the investment is a pretty good return, looking at, our over 99% employment rate from students that graduated in 2020, we're able to find jobs. Also, these are some of the average salaries that we've received from students that have graduated. And then the average time to pay back your investment, 1.6 years, which shows the strength of the program and the ability of our students to get jobs after they've graduated from the program. So these are some of the options for financing your investment. I won't go through all of them now, but graduate assistantships is what Akhil was talking about earlier. So basically that will give you a partial tuition waiver, a stipend of up to $2,000 in the fall and spring, and the opportunity to work with a department or a professor on campus. So you can get one of these when you apply for the program with your admission offer, but also you can apply for them separately after you're admitted as well through that link at the bottom of the screen there. So there's lots of opportunities, lots of departments and professors are looking to hire. So we definitely encourage you to apply as soon as you can for best consideration of those. We have a webinar coming up if you're interested in joining and learning more about these opportunities and how that will look on your tuition bill and how it kind of breaks down in terms of with a GRA, without a GRA. So if you want to join us for that, that link is at the bottom of the screen there. And then also for our application, these are some of the steps of the application that you would go through. I won't go through everything in detail right now, but when you do apply, like I mentioned earlier, we do not require the GRE or GMAT scores. They are optional, so you do not need to submit those. But if you do, we will need the unofficial scores for your application and the official scores later. And then same with TOEFL or IELTS, we need at least the unofficial scores for either of those. Transcripts, unofficial transcripts are fine as well, so scanned copies or PDFs. And then basically just more about your background, your resume, what your experience, internship experience has been, any internships that you've held, as well as your personal statement outlining your goals for the program and after you graduate the program. And then a video interview, which is basically 3 questions that you're going to answer within 5 minutes about your interest in the program and challenges you might face in the program. So if you want to learn more about the application, please feel free to join us on March 8th to go and take a deep dive into each area so you can prepare the strongest application possible. April 1st is our next and final international student deadline. So if you are thinking of applying, I would apply as soon as you can. We are operating on rolling admissions, so the sooner you do apply, the sooner we will get you that decision. And then our final deadline is June 1st. So if you do apply after April 1st, you will still get a decision, of course, but we advise you to apply as early as possible before April 1st. So you have enough time to get prepared to come overseas to study here at Georgia State. And as a thank you for attending today, we want to offer you a $50 application fee waiver. So to do that, you would submit your complete application, leave the application fee unpaid, and then email us at this email address, rcbnewapplicant@gsu.edu. Let us know that you've attended this event through Shiksha, and then we will have that application fee waived for you. And this is our information. So if you want to follow up with me at my email address or even schedule a time to speak with a recruiter during our virtual office hours, you can do that here at this link. But you can also follow up with Akhil or Dr. Shah as well with other questions. But that's pretty much all of our that we were going to cover today for the presentation. So we're going to open it up to questions now.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. And students, I would request you, if you have questions, please post your questions in the question section. If you wish to ask questions directly, please click on the raise hand tab. I will unmute you and you can ask your question. So I'm going to start with the live questions first. So the student I'm going to unmute first is Sanjay Mula. Sanjay, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, ma'am. Hi. I had a doubt. What are the requirements for students for international application for graduate program?
So basically, we're going to look at your background to see if you've completed any math, advanced calculus, linear algebra. Those are important for our program. Okay. But we do, look to see that you've taken the TOEFL or IELTS, so at least a 90 on TOEFL or 6.5 on IELTS as well. And we will, your transcripts, unofficial transcripts from your institution that you've attended in the past.
Okay. What about the backlogs, madam? How many backlogs are they going to accept at the university?
We don't have a set number right now. We are still admitting students, so it's ongoing currently. So yeah, I mean, it's still possible to get a seat for the program.
Okay. That's it, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay. Moving to next student, I'm going to unmute Mahindra Chetwani. Mahindra, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello, I am Mahindra from India. currently I'm pursuing BTech in Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. So, ma'am, what is the basic requirement? Like, what should be the minimum percentage in BTech to get the admission into university?
What is the minimum requirements for?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it for a specific test you're asking, or just in general what is needed for the application?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
in general, like what should be a GPA for that?
So we don't have a GPA requirement. We actually just go by averages. So yeah, I mean, we'll look at your GPA, we'll look at what you graduated with, like, you know, first division or first class, second class, whatever you graduated with. And then we'll also look at your grades, you know, what if you were taking math classes, how well you did in those math classes. Those all go into our application review because we look at a holistic review. We look at everything overall. It's not just one thing. It's your, you know, what you studied and your goals after graduation. You know, why are you interested in the program, and what, you know, what your experience has been professionally or, you know, through internships. So all of that kind of goes into the whole evaluation. It's not just your GPA or what you graduated with, for example.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mahindra. Moving to next student, I'm going to unmute Rima Modak. Rima, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yes, hi.
Hello.
Regarding the admission, a person who has already applied for, I had actually already applied for MSCS for fall 2022 in Georgia State. And actually, sadly, I got rejected. I got a reject in that. So can I apply for MSDS for this fall?
Yes, yeah, so our deadline is April 1st, so it's still possible to apply for the program. Absolutely.
What is actually the criteria? Actually, I have a GRE score of 303, IELTS is 7. I have a research interest, but apart from that, I am more interested in data science rather than my research opportunities I can look for. So is there any, like, how can I go about it? What is your suggestion on it?
So do you know what your quantitative score was on the GRE?
GRE, it's okay. I can increase that. Sure.
Oh, no, I wasn't saying necessarily to do that. It just basically we look for 80% or better on the GRE quantitative score. That's considered a strong score for us. So I would say just consider that, you know, when you're looking at your scores, but also know that we look at other areas as well. So looking at what you studied in undergrad and, you know, what, if you did research, what type of research you were doing. Did you take the math courses? You know, what are your goals? Like, are you clear on what your goals are and why you're looking to come to Robinson? All of those things together are being considered. It sounds like you have a good IELTS score though, so that's great. So yeah, I think the rest of the application.
GPA, I mean, this for the West evaluation, it's 3.34 out of 4. So it's, I think for MSDS I can apply because like though I have an interest in computer science, but my research interest lies with data analytics. So okay.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
do you want me to apply and then write it to you for what do you suggest on this?
I'm not sure what you mean. Apply after and write to me.
Write to me in the sense that whether I get a good chance in applying, like the consideration that because after getting a reject from a university, all the application that goes through it is mostly not looked into.
Yeah, I would say if you want to join our office hours through that link on the screen there, we can, you know, further guide you through the application process and, you know, make sure that you're on track with everything. So yeah, I would definitely sign up for that and we can coach you from there.
Okay, then I'll contact from there itself. Thank you. That's helpful.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Rima, for your question. I'll move on to next student. I'm going to unmute Murphy. Murphy, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Good day, Ma. Thank you very much for this opportunity. My name is Murphy from Nigeria. Okay, so my question is, I don't have my IELTS or TOEFL score ready. I don't have plans to write those tests, those exams anytime soon, but I have my GRE score. So do I stand a chance to, be offered admission?
Yeah, so in Nigeria, you would not be required to submit the TOEFL or IELTS. And then we're not requiring the GRE or GMAT. So it's really up to you if you want to submit those scores and your background. If you feel, that your background is enough to apply for the program without the score, then feel free. That's completely fine.
Okay, thank you, ma. My BSc was on mathematics. I did mathematics in my undergraduate school.
Oh, okay.
And I've been working after my undergraduate school. I've been working as a web and Python instructor, programmer.
Okay, that's perfect. That sounds like you have a great background.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Murphy. Moving to next student, I am going to unmute Harshal Thakkar. Harshal, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi there.
I'm Harshal from India. I have two questions. The first one is that while recruiting, what are the type of individuals that you look for? That individuality, that what kind of thing you look in a person before recruiting?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great question. So really, we're looking for somebody that's motivated to do the program and to pursue data science, that is clear on or has some idea of where they want to see their career going in the short term and long term, that they've done research on the school and on the field itself, and that they're clear, on why they want to pursue it here at Robinson. And why they think that they're a good fit for Robinson as well. I think that's really helpful for us. So all of that goes into the personal statement, but also you'll have the opportunity to speak on that in the video interview as well. So as long as you're clear there, I think that will definitely stand out to us.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And the second one is for the scholarships and fee waivers. So what do you look when you give scholarships or fee waivers?
Yeah, so our strongest candidates will be considered for those assistantships or scholarships, I guess you could say. And basically, we'll look at your background, if you submitted a test score, if it's a strong score of 80% quant score or better, for example. But if no test score, we'll look at your background and see what you've studied, if it's relevant to the program, your experience, any relevant experience that you have. So we'll look at that and then let you know your decision letter if you received one. But again, you can also apply for these separately after you're admitted as well. And those are basically based on your background, your experience so far. So you can be considered in two different ways when you apply, and then also after you apply for these scholarship/assistantship opportunities. And like I said earlier, it's a partial tuition waiver, and then also a stipend of up to $2,000 in the fall and spring semester.
Okay, great that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Harshal. Moving to next student, I am going to unmute Cynthia Yaki. Cynthia, please unmute yourself and ask your question. Cynthia, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay. Good afternoon from Nigeria here.
Yes, hello.
I am Yaki Favor. I want to find out about someone who have done masters before in organizational behavior and management. Can I be able to do this data science?
I mean, that definitely will be helpful in the program. We're going to look at the other areas as well. So are you working, or have you gotten any work experience yet?
Yes, I have my own business. I've been running on my own for years now. So that is the only experience I have. I've not actually worked for anyone.
Oh, okay, that's great. Sounds like you have some good entrepreneurial experience. So that will definitely be helpful. I would say that have you taken any math courses at all, or was it just strictly business?
Oh, of course, I've taken math courses. My first degree was in building technology. Before I switched to management, I did PhD in human resources management before I completed my master's degree.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great. Sounds like you have a really interesting background. So yeah, I would encourage you to apply, submit your application. And if you do want, extra support, of course, you can feel free to join our office hours or email me and we can, coach you as well.
Okay. I actually asked a question at the question box there. I wanted to get the application link for this program.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I can type it in the chat box.
Okay. Apart from that too, is there any benefits for the people from Nigeria, mostly if we don't write this ITLS exam during application for visa? Is it going to affect our admission when we are coming in?
So for Nigeria, you don't need to submit the IELTS or TOEFL. It's not required by the university, so it's not going to impact, your application.
Okay, but I mean during visa application, they will not request for it so that it will not affect us when we are coming in.
No, they won't ask for it at all for Nigeria. Mm-mm.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. Moving to next student, I am going to, just a minute. Next student, I am going to unmute Sayali Mahipal. Sayali, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello, ma'am. My question was like, is it necessary to have 4-year degree undergraduate or 3-year would be also work for applying?
Yeah, that's a great question too. So we do accept 3-year undergraduate degrees as well from India, as long as they are first class or first division or better, and also from an accredited college or university. So, but we also have our own in-house translation team. So they do their own evaluation of the transcripts. So if you're not sure, you can always send it in with your application and our admissions team will do their evaluation and let you know if it needs to be evaluated by WES or something like that. But yeah, the first step really is to apply, submit your application, and we'll let you know if anything else comes up that we need any other information.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Sayali. Moving to next student, I'm going to unmute Vaibhav Garg. Vaibhav, please unmute yourself and ask your question. Vaibhav, please unmute yourself.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, so actually, I was going through GSU and I came across like GSU provide very good funding for the people who are suffering from finances if you have a good profile. So actually in the question itself, I listed down my profile hoping for an application fee waiver before going for it. But later on in the workshop, I found out that you are already giving it. So that's good. So the thing I'm confused about is even if I apply to MSDA program, so what are the I am currently doing a programming in Java. In my college days I was working on Python most of the time, but currently being a software associate developer, my interest shifted to Java. So will it affect my this like how I change my technology stack after completing my degree? So will it affect my application?
Will your backgrounds working with Java affect your application for the program? Like, is it going to negatively impact it or something? Or
yes,
no, not necessarily. I mean, I think it's great to see that you have Java programming. That's definitely going to be helpful. At least it's a head start on something, some technical skill that you can utilize. So I wouldn't worry too much. I think that's a positive thing. And also,
okay.
Yeah, I think your background, I assume, is in computer science then, right?
Yes. So one more thing. So I completed my bachelor's in information technology. So in some of the universities, I found out that they were not considering it same as CS, but all the courses I studied are from CS only. The only program name is different in India, but the subjects remain same. So will that affect?
No, not necessarily. I mean, we look at what courses you've taken in addition to the degree, so it's not, that won't have an impact. We're looking at what you've studied overall and the different courses and different subjects, how well you did in those subjects. So I wouldn't I wouldn't worry too much
Okay,
about.
so I have taken some extra like elective business analyst courses and all, so it will only support my profile some in one way or another.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so I wanted to ask one more question. Sorry, I'm taking so much time. So like right now it's already February, so you receive, you must have received so many applications. So it becomes harder to get an admit now, like there are only limited number of seats.
Not necessarily. I mean, we are looking to grow our program. We do look for the most qualified candidates, of course, based on the different aspects of your application, your background, experience, your goals, all of that. So I say that if you take the time to really, let us know more about you, and do what you need to do for your application, as well as, also showing that maybe you've taken the GRE or GMAT and you've had a strong score, or you have math in your background or some technical skills. I think those will be positive aspects to your application. So it doesn't necessarily mean that just because we're late in the game that you wouldn't be able to start. As long as you are applying by a deadline and you're qualified, you have a decent chance of getting into the program. It's just a matter of applying sooner rather than later, because
Okay,
mhm.
thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
You're
Have a
welcome.
nice day.
You too.
Thank you so much, Vaibhav. Moving to next, I'm going to unmute Sunanya Shivangi. Please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, hi ma'am. So I would like to ask whether not submitting the GRE scores will affect the application.
So that depends on your background, and something that you need to look at. So if you're coming from a math background or something, and you've done really well overall, or you have really strong work experience, that's going to offset the not having the test score. So if you have, let's say you don't have any experience in the technical side or the math side, you might consider taking the test to kind of balance it out and show another area where you are strong on the quantitative side by submitting those GRE GMAT scores. So it really just depends on you and your background. When you're
Okay, so basically I'm from EC undergrad. Yeah, maths courses we have taken it initially in the undergrad. So after that, I have given my IELTS and all. But the problem is like I have the experience also of 1.6 years. So and that was in basically in automation testing. So preferable language was Java being used. So so GRE, is it required for this profile?
So that's something. So did you take 3 levels of or 4 levels of math as well?
Right.
You did. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I think it sounds like you have a good background. As you're showing that you did well in those math courses. You definitely have a good background for the program. So yeah, it's really the test is just another option for you to strengthen your application overall if you feel like you need it.
Okay. Okay. So information systems, right? So for that particular course, so if we take the part-time, so how does that course actually work? I'm like, can you just explain me about that?
For information systems?
Right, for the part-time courses.
Oh, that's a different program. This is for the MS in Data Science Analytics program.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to learn more about that program, you can also come to our virtual office hours via that link on the screen there. Or you can email me and I can direct you to the recruiter for that program as well. I think they're going to have another webinar actually in March too for MSIS.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Samir. Moving to next student, I am going to unmute Pawan Kumar. Pawan, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm Pawan from India. I have a query related to. I'm from electrical background and I want to do MS in DS. So, is my profile suitable for that? I have an IELTS score of 7.5, and I'm going to give my GRE in the next fortnight. I'm currently working in Accenture for the past 3 months. Is my profile suitable for to get the admission in DS, ma'am?
Did you say that you're going to take the GRE or GMAT? Is that
Yeah,
correct?
I'm going to take the GRE in the next 14 days.
Yeah, I mean, I think that will definitely be good. We'll look at, if you've taken the test, what your score was, the quantitative side. That will definitely add, but it sounds like you're getting some good experience right now. And you said that you have a relevant background, so I definitely encourage you to apply, yes.
Yeah, that's it, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Pawan. Next one I'm going to unmute is Ben Degbe. Ben, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, my concern is about the number of courses you can apply to at the same time. So is it possible to apply for more than one programs at the same time?
Yes. Yeah, that is possible if you're looking to do that. That's fine.
All right, so that's all.
Okay,
Thanks.
just one thing to note though is that you will have to choose one. So you can apply to both, but you'll have to choose one before you start the program.
Thank you so much, Ben, for your question. I'll take few questions from the chat now before we end the session. So there are a few common questions that I'm going to take up. So one of the common questions that students are asking is the application deadline, which I think Lindsay has already shared with the students. But if you can share that, plus there are a lot of students who are asking for the application web page where they can know the details of what all documents are required for the application.
Yeah, so the net deadline is actually April 1st. That's our next and final international student deadline. And then the final deadline is June 1st. So I would suggest applying by April 1st if you can. And then in terms of the other aspects of the application, so this webinar is being recorded, so I believe you can go back and look at some of the aspects of the application, but also you can attend our upcoming webinar on the different aspects of the application. We'll go through it in depth and tell you more about that. I'll also send you, well, actually, maybe I could just go back and show you here the page. That might be easier too. So yeah, these are the different steps in the application that you would have to complete.
Okay. I'll take the next question. This question has been asked by Pawan Kumar, and the student has asked that I have completed my undergrad in this month, that is February, but I have completed it by writing the backlogs. I had 5 backlogs and I've passed all my backlogs. So can I apply for the MSDS program at the university, seeing that he have 5 backlogs which he has cleared?
I'm not sure what you mean by backlogs. Does that mean transcripts or like official documents with courses completed?
So backlog generally means that in particular subject the score would have been less, and then the student did have to reappear for that exam again, for that program again.
Okay.
Must have given an exam for that particular program.
Yeah, so for that, I would suggest speaking or emailing me directly so we can talk about that, one-on-one, what you can do to strengthen your application overall. It is still possible to apply, of course, but I would suggest, connecting with me, and I'll let you see my email again, just so we can talk about it more one-on-one.
Okay. Moving to next question. This is from Kingsley, and the student has asked that I am in my final year of BS Information Technology. I want to know if my transcript doesn't include calculus, what are my chances of being accepted for the MS in Data Science program? My transcript includes statistics and probability and some programming courses, which are the basic knowledge. So what would be my probability of getting an offer for the MS and DS program?
I'd say that if you don't have all of the, so it depends on the track that you're interested in going into, of course, but if you're looking for the data science, full data science track, and you don't have all of the math required, I would say consider taking the GRE or GMAT and showing a score of 80% or better on the quantitative side. That can offset, you know, the background that you have. But if you, and also, you know, if you need to complete other courses, like other advanced math courses, that would be advisable as well to meet those requirements for the data science program. So yeah, those are some things to consider, either, you know, taking the test and also completing the remaining courses for the program, the prerequisites in math.
Okay, moving to next question. This is again a common question from a lot of students regarding the scholarship opportunities and the eligibility for the scholarship.
Yeah, so basically when you apply, we automatically consider you for scholarships or graduate research assistantships, as we call them. And we look at your background, we look at what you studied and, you know, how well you did overall in your courses, your work experience, if any, your goals. And we have two different types. So we have merit-based and non-merit-based assistantships or scholarships, I guess you could say. So when you apply, we automatically consider you for those merit-based ones using the test scores, including the other aspects, your background, your experience, etc. And we'll let you know in your decision letter if you received one of the merit ones. The merits are very competitive, and you know, the most qualified candidates will receive those based on their background. Then we also have regular assistantships you can get as well through departments. Those do not require a test score, but we do look at, you know, your background again, your experience, what you studied in school, and you can also apply for those after you're admitted to the program as well. So there's a couple ways to get the scholarships, and again, the benefits are the same. You get the partial tuition waiver, and then up to $2,000 as a stipend in the fall and spring semester.
Okay, I'll take the last question now. So I'm going to unmute Priya Malik. Priya, please ask your question and unmute yourself.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello. I am from India. Are there any scholarship for India international student, as I am pursuing B Pharma final year student? I want to do masters in medical science. Please suggest the scholarship and their criteria.
So yeah, the scholarship criteria is basically what I was mentioning earlier, looking at, you know, either submitting a GRE or GMAT score, as well as looking at your background, your experience, if any, work experience, your goals, all of that. So I would actually encourage you also to attend our upcoming webinar through the financial aid team. They can go through exactly what, you know, how it will break down and what it will look like if you're going to have a bill with the assistantship applied, the scholarship applied to it. So yeah, hopefully, does that answer your question? Or
okay, and
Yeah, you're there. I think there's some connectivity issue. I'll take one last question, which is again a common question from 2-3 students when students are asking for the duration of the program.
yeah, the program full time is 12 to 16 months. So you can technically complete the program in the summertime as you're doing your internship and your final electives. But many students defer their electives to the fall, which would make it 16 months because there are a lot more electives to choose from in the fall semester. So yes, either 12 to 16 months.
Okay. I think with this, we have come to the end of the session, and I would like to thank Lindsay and Akhil and Dr. Yasin to, you know, who have taken out time today doing this session for all the students, and I hope that students, all your doubts would have been cleared. Still, if you have questions that, you know, that are unanswered and we were not able to take those questions, I will request you to post that questions in the question section. Your details will be shared with the university representative and along with your questions, and you will get answer to your questions. Plus, you will also be contacted by the Siksha counseling team And whatever queries you have regarding application, admissions, the process, scholarships, you can share with them and they will be able to help you with that. Now, before we end the session, I will request Lindsay and Akhil to please share some words with the students that can really help them or encourage them in applying for the MSDS program.
I would say, definitely apply early. It's always best to apply as soon as you can for best consideration of those scholarships and also consideration for the program, and also have enough time to prepare for the program. There's so many exciting things going on over here at Robinson in terms of the different sprint projects that we talked about earlier and the boot camps that you have opportunities to get your hands on real data sets and start building models and building out different solutions for companies in the area. So the value in working hands-on with our program is incredible, and I definitely encourage you to consider that and start applying as soon as possible and reaching out if you have other questions, of course, too. I'll let Akhil, if you want to share anything else.
Yeah, I would say that, yeah, I've seen like there are a lot of questions from different background and will I get into admission or like to the course, but yeah, there are a lot of people like in a class, in my class, they're from different backgrounds, so make sure that you don't worry about that. Make sure that your personal statement is like why do you want to do this course, and what are the projects you have done, or like it can be personal or it can be like university projects, but and then you have to be very good at these skills and then apply for it. It's like don't worry about the application, but yeah, Georgia State University sees whole application and they'll decide on the application, I mean, to give a offer or not. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lindsay and Akhil, for sharing that. And with this, I will now end the session. And I thank everyone for joining us today, and students for attending this session, and Lindsay and Akhil for doing this wonderful presentation for all the students. And with this, now I end the session. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a great day ahead, Lindsay and Akhil, and have a great evening ahead to all the students. Take care, be safe, bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you. Sure, team. Yeah, once again. Yeah.